Jalen Hurts has stepped in to be the starting QB for the Eagles and has breathed a new life into the city. Last year, they were one of the most dynamic and tough to stop offenses, and this had them on the doorstep of Super Bowl glory. And going into the 2023 season, they've emerged as one of the top favorites to win it all. They have done it by taking a ton of the spread elements that Hurts used in college, adding a powerful road grading offensive line, and then having an incredible group of tight ends and wideouts to make them possibly the most complete offense in the NFL. In this video, I'll be breaking down the key principles that make this offense so tough to stop. We're gonna have specifically designed plays to attack defenses just like the real life Eagles do. And then we're also gonna go over the main stars of their offense so you can target similar players. And all of this is gonna enable you to play just like the dynamic Eagles offense in Madden 24. Now, formationally, the Eagles play a little bit different than most spread teams. They play with a lot more tight formations like bunches right near the offensive line. And what this allows them to do is it makes it very tough to keep track of receivers, and this can confuse coverages and they can get in behind defenses for huge gains. They also like to utilize more heavy personnel groups with multiple tight ends. This complements the heavy run game they like to employ and can help open up some huge holes for their ground game. And to replicate this offense, we're going to be using these four formations in the Kansas City Chiefs Playbook. And this is actually all part of a bigger scheme I am creating where I'm going to break down 5 offenses from today's NFL that really utilize this spread offense that has taken the whole league by storm. And when they pair these spread concepts with young dynamos at QB, it becomes next to unstoppable. And then all 5 of these offenses will be run out of the Chiefs Playbook, so you can use all of them together to create one giant scheme. And the playlist for everything that is out so far will be down in the description below. Now, at the heart of the Philadelphia Eagles offensive approach is Jalen Hurts, and his most distinctive trait is his athletic prowess and ability to make plays with his legs. He is not just a quarterback, he's a dual threat dynamo. They lean on schemes like zone reads and quarterback powers, turning these plays into multi-option threats with Hurts at the helm, and this has made their running game almost impossible for the rest of the league to handle. Then even when Hurts isn't involved in the run, they have probably the best O-line in the league, and they get super creative with their use of pulling guards and this downhill power approach to absolutely blow defenses off the line and create some massive holes that allows them to be possibly the best overall run game in the whole NFL. So at my QB spot, I'm using the Josh Allen Elite card, and he is a great fit because he has the running ability and power to run the ball just like Hurts does for the Eagles, and he has the arm to make some big time throws and put the ball wherever he needs it. The run we're looking at here is speed option and pistol bunch tight end, and this can be a super explosive addition to our run game. That is so effective because it allows Hurts to get to the edge of the defense and make plays as a ball carrier, but then he can also use his elite decision making to know when to flip it out and let the running back get into the open field and make a play. Now for this play, I like to run the bunch to the short side of the field, and then I actually want to take the outside player on the bunch side and motion him across the field. And you're going to see once he gets to about where the tight end is, and you're going to see a defender with a P over his head, and by motioning this player over, we can make this P move to a different defender. And as soon as this happens, we want to snap the ball. And what this is going to do is allow us to block everyone on the outside, get to the edge with our quarterback, and we're going to have a ton of room to operate and have space to bust off some big gains. Now, by changing who the P defender is, this is going to allow us to block way more players and force the pitch defender, who is the main player we are reading on this play, to be way away from the football, just allowing us to get so many more pickups. Then if after the snap, the P defender actually jumps out in at the QB, or we're just getting defenders in, then that is where we want to flip it out to our running back, let him get into the open field. And now when everyone is playing in on the QB, there's just going to be so much open room for your running back to really make some huge plays. Then the big power run in this scheme is going to be pin, pull, toss in gun bunch strong nasty, and this is going to be a super explosive run that you can use to pick up some really big gains. This is the exact type of run the Eagles love, with multiple pullers out in front leading the way, and this gives the offense this power element that makes it so tough to stop. Here I like to run the bunch to the wide side of the field, and we are going to get our play side guard and the tight end pulling out in front, and we just want to run with patience and really let these blocks set up, and once they engage, we want to explode out from behind them, get into the open field, and this can lead into some really huge pickups. Now, if you have a running back with the speed and athleticism to get to the edge here, and if you really use your blocks and let them set up, then this run can be crazy effective and allow you to rack up some really big plays plays all over defenses, making your run game super difficult to handle. The Philadelphia Eagles have crafted an offense that thrives on unpredictability and capitalizes on Jalen Hurts' unique skill set. Central to this strategy is the masterful use of run-pass options and constraint plays, ensuring defenses are always off balance. Hurts, with his ability and quick decision-making, epitomizes the effectiveness of the RPO. By blending running and passing into a single play, the Eagles often leave defenses in a dilemma, unsure whether to commit to the run or drop back against the pass, and if they get it wrong, they are gonna pay. Then, incorporating constraint plays alongside RPOs, Philadelphia further compounds the challenge for opposing defenses by setting up looks that can evolve into multiple plays out of a motion or a certain offensive look. They let an offense capitalize off defenders who cheat, allowing them to make defenses stay honest or they will absolutely shred them. Now, the running back position is a huge part of this area of their offense, and for the Eagles last year, they had the dynamic Miles Sanders in this role, and he was a great fit. So in my MUT offense at the running back spot, I'm using Ramondre Stevenson. He is a great fit here with his size to get downhill and run in between the tackles and add some power to this scheme. Then he's also a very good receiver who can be a weapon in the pass game and can make some big plays with the ball in. Our next run play is going to be RPO zone read bubble in gun bunch strong nasty, and this play is going to give us 3 great options that make this RPO super tough to handle for defenses. This play is all about flipping the numbers in the run game, and we want to run this with our bunch to the wide side. Then the first part of this play, we want to read the trip side D end, and at the snap, if he crashes down on the running back, then you just want to keep it with your QB, get to the outside, and rack up some crazy yards on the ground. Then if you read the D end and he stays on the QB, then you just want to give it up the middle to your running back and allow him to pick up some big yards, forcing the defense into a no-win situation. Then the third element is the bubble screen. We want to look to the trip side, and if you have the numbers advantage to the outside, then you can just fire it out to him and let him make a play in space with the ball in his hands, giving us 3 great options on this play. The first part of this constraint sequence is motion HB swing and gun Y off trips weak, and this is a great way to get a playmaker on the edge in space where he can make a ton of big plays. The swing motion is something the Eagles love to employ to get their fast playmaking running backs on the edge of the defense, and this can be a great way to pick up some free yards, and we are going to really utilize this a ton. On this play, we want to run the trips to the wide side and then snap the ball, and we will get this running back motion out. And after we get the snap, we can fire it out to him, and we're going to have 2 blockers out in front and really allow these guys to pick up their blocks, and this can get us some huge yards down the field in the open with your explosive playmaker on this play. This is one of the best plays you will find to get your running back on the edge, and this can allow you to pick up a ton of super easy yards, and it is really going to force your opponent to try to adjust to stop it, or you will just continually rack up really big gains. The second half of this constraint play is motion X slant spot in gun Y off trips weak, and this will have the same running back motion, but now we can throw a pass off of this, and our whole goal here is to force defenses to overplay to stop the swing so we can pass for some big gains. To set this up, have the trips to the wide side, then take the outside receiver and put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Here we're going to have that same motion across the field, and now we really want to pull the user out of the middle of the field to the running back, and when we snap it, he will be so far out of position, and we can have this corner route getting in behind their flat defender for a big gain down the field. Then if the corner route isn't open, we have the backside slant attacking the middle of the field, and if the user vacates to take the running back swing, then this should be wide open for a big pickup. Then if the user actually stays in the middle of the field and the corner route isn't open, then we're going to have this inside spot route from our slot that will sit down, and this is a great third option. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this Eagles offense, where I give you 7 more plays for this scheme that is going to give you so many more great options to attack your opponent. That includes great run plays, some very good man-beating options, and some ways to really push the ball down the field for huge gains. Then also on the site is a new area where you can find all my schemes from Madden 23, and this is where the rest of the NFL spread offense will be once it is released. And we already have a mini scheme up for this offense, plus my Josh Allen Bills scheme and my Joe Burrow Bengals offense, and there's going to be a ton more on the way. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Now, front and center of the Philadelphia Eagles aerial attack is their relentless exploitation of the middle of the field. Through a crafty use of crossing routes and the tried and true mesh concept, they've found consistent success in this area of the field. The man leading this charge is none other than Devontae Smith. His unparalleled agility, sharp route running, and understanding of space makes him the perfect weapon to deploy and dominate in the middle of the field. Smith is the embodiment embodiment of precision and quickness, able to dissect defenses with lightning quick speed as he navigates through their zones or shreds man coverage when he gets soloed up in these spots. Now, in our slot receiver possession role in this offense, I'm using the new Devontae Smith Slim Reaper aka card. He is the perfect player here and is excellent at beating one-on-one man coverage and is going to be our go-to option versus these looks. Then he does have the speed to get downfield and make some big plays, giving us more explosion to this off. Next, we have a great zone beating play that is going to let us attack each area of the field, and if you read it right, it is basically unstoppable, and it is mesh, flat spot, and gun bunch strong nasty. Mesh is a bread and butter concept that the Eagles will use to give Hurts some really easy reads, and this allows them to really attack the middle of the field for some big pickups. Here we want the bunch to the wide side, then take the corner route, motion him across the field, and he will become a post, then take the running back and put him on a wheel route. Now, first I like to look to the running back rail route, and at the snap, if the flat defender side is dropping way out, I will just quick throw this and pick up the easy yards in front of them. Then if we get man coverage, this route can be very good if you have a speed advantage on the linebacker, and you can lob this up and let your fast running back run under it for a big pickup down the field. Then we can look to the middle of the field where we're going to have this triangle read with this spot route and the two drags. And if the whole middle opens up, then you can fire in this spot route for the easy pickup. Then if the two hooks stay in the middle on the spot route, then you can look to either one of the drags, and against zone, they will actually pull up and sit down, and you can drop it down to whichever one is more open. Then we can also hold this ball and wait a little bit longer for this post to cut in over the middle, and the user and the hook should be held down by the spot route and the drags, and you can fire this in behind them but in front of the safeties for a really nice pickup. Next, we have cross drag and pistol bunch tight end, and this is going to be an amazing man beating play with great options attacking all levels of the field to allow you to get some explosive gains. The Eagles love to utilize crossers in their offense to pair with their incredible receivers to break down defenders in man coverage and run away from them, leading to some huge gains down the field for this Hurts-led attack. So for this play, have your trips to the short side of the field, and there's only one adjustment on this play. You just want to block your running back, and that is it. So the first place I want to look is the deep cross, and if they have no safety help on that side, then this guy should get wide open after his break, and you can fire this in for a huge pickup. And if you have a ton of separation, then you just want to rack catch this and pick up any extra yards you can. Then if there is a safety taking away the cross or the user is running with it, then we have the deep dig coming in behind them over the middle of the field, and this is a great second option on this play. Then for checkdowns here, we have two drags, and they'll be meshing through the middle of the field, and you can just go to whichever one has more separation from their man, drop it down to them, and let them make a play with the ball in their hands. And central to this Philadelphia Eagles offensive strategy is their willingness to go deep and capitalize on any single coverage opportunities that present themselves. Whenever defenses load up the box to try to stop their dynamic run game and dare to leave the Eagles receivers in one-on-one scenarios, Philly is going to pounce and launch aerial assaults downfield. AJ Brown is the primary weapon of choice in this approach, possessing a rare combination of size, speed, and ball tracking ability. Brown becomes a matchup nightmare for most cornerbacks. He thrives in these isolated situations, consistently coming up with big plays and turning 50-50 balls into significant gains. And in my MUT offense, I'm using Devin Hester in this spot. Although he doesn't have the size and strength of Brown, he has the speed and big play ability to be the perfect downfield threat for this offense, playing over the top and picking up huge plays. But then he is also super dangerous with the ball in his hands after the catch, just like AJ Brown. Then we have the play 4 verticals in wing stack weak, and this is an incredible deep shot that we can use to bomb cover 3 for 1 play scores, but it is also a very good hole shot to get deep down the field versus cover 2. Then the last part of this Eagles offense is if they get one-on-one matchups down the field with their playmakers, then they are going to take advantage of these looks and push the ball and let their big time players make some big time plays. To set this up, have your 2 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, then take the outside player, motion him out, then take the inside receiver on the wide side and put him on a streak, and that is it. Now the first place you want to look here is the safety, and if we get single high cover 3, then this seam is going to be wide open, and you will see the corner on the wide side is going to get pulled out by the wheel up the sideline, and the deep middle safety is going to be held inside by the tight end seam, and we want to pass lead this up and away from that deep safety, and we can launch this up the seam for huge pickups and some of the easiest cover 3 bombs you will hit all year. Next, if you get too high pre-snap and it is cover 2 post-snap, then we want to look to the wheel on the wide side, and he's going to get a free release up the field, and he will get inside behind the corner corner, and the deep half defender will get held inside by the streak, and you can drop it into this hole deep down the field for a really nice pickup. Then lastly on this play, if your two deep shots aren't open, then the check down will be your running back leaving the backfield, and you can just drop it down to him for an easy pickup underneath. Now, employing this Eagles offense will make you incredibly tough to stop. And don't forget, part 2 is available right now on Scheme King, so you can take this offense to the next level. But if you want a super explosive offense that you can pair with this Eagles scheme that is also ran out of the Chiefs playbook, then my new Joe Burrow-led Bengals spread offense is gonna help you a ton. And if you want to check it out, then just click this video right here.